You know, it's funny when you think about it, like buying stuff.
Hmm.
It used to be so simple, right? You bought something, you owned it, boom, done.
Right.
But these days, I feel like everything is a subscription.
It really is, yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure I could live a decent chunk of my life just hopping between
You
subscription.
really could.
Shows, music, even my groceries. It's like the whole world is going this subscription route.
It's true.
And today we're diving deep into this whole subscription economy thing.
Yeah.
So to start, I guess, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience with this whole subscription world?
Sure. I've been fascinated by this shift for a while, especially seeing how it's reshaping the way businesses connect with us.
With us, the consumers.
Exactly. It's not just about selling a product anymore. It's all about building a relationship. And these subscription models are at the heart of that.
Yeah, and I think for this deep dive, we're really going to try to look at both sides of it
Absolutely.
because it's clear that this is huge for businesses, but we also want to explore what it means for us, the people actually using these subscriptions.
For sure. We'll be looking at the drivers behind their success, the strategies companies use to keep us hooked, and even take a peek into what the future holds for this whole subscription thing.
A peek into the crystal ball.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Why are so many businesses going crazy for these subscription models? What's the big deal for them?
Well, one word, recurring revenue.
Recurring revenue.
It's really the golden ticket for businesses.
Yeah.
Instead of relying on one-off purchases, they have this steady, predictable income stream coming in every month.
Makes sense. It's like, getting a paycheck.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that stability, it does wonders for a business.
How so?
For starters, managing their resources becomes way easier.
Oh, yeah.
Inventory, all that stuff. It's smoother because they can kind of anticipate the demand.
And know how much they need to have on hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this also means they can invest more confidently in things like improving customer support.
Oh, so they can actually hire more people to help out with customer issues.
Yeah, exactly. And all of this leads to more opportunities for growth. It's kind of like a snowball effect.
Yeah.
And on top of all of that, this consistent revenue, it's like a magnet for investors.
Investors love seeing that steady income.
Oh, they absolutely love it. It makes the business look way more stable, way less risky.
So it's a win-win for them, the businesses.
You could say that, yeah.
But what about us? What's in it for us, the subscribers?
Well, this is where the whole personalized experience thing comes in.
Yeah.
The way these platforms learn our tastes and recommend stuff we'd actually like.
It's true. Like, my Spotify Discover weekly playlist is eerily good.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that's because they're using AI, these smart algorithms that crunch tons of data.
Our data.
Yeah, our listening habits, what we watch, all that stuff. And they use this to figure out our preferences, what we might enjoy.
So it's not just random.
Not at all. It's all about creating this tailored experience, making us feel like the service knows us.
Like it was made just for us.
Exactly. It's like having a personal shopper, but for everything. It saves us so much time and energy because we don't have to scroll endlessly or search for ages.
Right? It's just there, ready for you.
Exactly. And that, in the end, makes us way more satisfied with the service. We're more likely to stick around.
And that's something these businesses are definitely banking on, right?
100%. They want to make it so easy and enjoyable that we become almost dependent on it.
So you're saying that these subscriptions are kind of designed to weave themselves into our daily routines?
In a way, yeah. Think about it. You wake up, you check your favorite news app.
Right.
You go to work. You listen to a podcast. You come home. You watch a show on Cosmo TV. It's all so seamlessly integrated into our lives.
It's true. I hadn't really thought about it like that.
And that constant interaction, that routine, it builds a strong emotional connection with the brand.
It's like your favorite coffee shop. You just keep going back.
Exactly. And that makes you less likely to churn, which is the business term for canceling a subscription.
Gotcha. Okay, now let's talk about the money part.
Okay.
Because obviously these subscriptions cost money month after month.
They do.
So how do they make sure we feel like we're actually getting our money's worth?
Well, one big thing is bundling.
Bundling.
Yeah, like think about Amazon Prime.
Right.
You get free shipping, a ton of movies and shows, music, even deals just for members.
The whole package.
Exactly. And all of that for one price. It's usually cheaper than buying each of those things separately.
Let's go bulk discount.
Yeah, you can think of it that way. And Cosmo TV does this too by constantly adding new content. They make sure there's always something fresh to watch.
So you're never bored.
Right. And that perceived value, that feeling of getting a good deal, is a huge part of why people stick with subscriptions.
So we feel like we're getting more bang for our buck.
Exactly.
Okay, so businesses love subscriptions because of that predictable income, and we get all these perks.
hmm
But how do these companies actually keep us coming back for more? How do they keep us loyal?
Well, it all starts with a smooth onboarding process. They make signing up super easy.
Frictionless, as they like to say.
Exactly. And then there are things like free trials. Spotify Premium does this really well. You can try it out for free for a good chunk of time.
Yes.
You get hooked on the experience, and you're more likely to subscribe once the trial ends.
It's like a taste test.
It is. And then once you're in, they keep personalizing your experience, those recommendations we talked about earlier. And on top of that, many services offer exclusive content, things you can only get if you're a subscriber.
Like those Amazon Prime shows everyone's always talking about.
Exactly. And they also have those early access deals for members. It creates this feeling of exclusivity, like you're part of a special club. And to cater to different needs and budgets, they also offer tiered memberships.
So like a basic plan and a premium plan.
Exactly. That way, they can hook people in at different levels of engagement.
Okay, so they're personalizing, they're offering exclusive stuff, but is that enough to keep us entertained, in the long run?
Well, that's why they focus on continuously innovating, adding new features, new content. Cosmo TV's original programming is a good example of this. They invest in creating high-quality shows that people actually want to watch.
So they're not just relying on other people's content, they're making their own.
Exactly. And then they also spice things up with limited-time offers, promotions, even gamification. Think loyalty points, badges, exclusive rewards for engaging with the platform.
So they're trying to make it fun too.
Absolutely. It's all about keeping things fresh and exciting.
And you know what else I've noticed with a lot of these platforms? They really try to build a sense of community.
It's so important.
Like Spotify with its shared playlists, you can connect with people who have similar taste in music.
Yeah, and there's that whole aspect of user-generated content. Reviews, curated playlists, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It creates this feeling of shared ownership and belonging.
It's like you're all part of the same club.
Exactly. And last but not least, they offer flexible pricing and cancellation policies.
That's crucial.
Oh, it is. They make it easy to pause a subscription if you need a break or switch between different plans.
Without having to jump through hoops.
Right. And they provide multiple payment options, monthly, annual, whatever suits you. And all of this comes with clear communication about what you're getting for your money.
So no hidden costs or surprises?
Nope, they lay it all out there. It's about making you feel valued and in control.
Okay, so we've covered a lot about how these subscription models work right now, but let's get a little futuristic. What do you think the future holds for this whole subscription thing? Like, how is it going to change, and how will that affect us as consumers?
Well, I think AI is going to play a huge role.
AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes, it's already a big part of things, but it's going to become even more sophisticated, even more personalized. They'll be able to analyze our behavior in real time and predict what we want, even before we know it ourselves.
It's like they'll be able to read our minds.
Almost. And this could lead to things like automated churn prevention. Imagine the system recognizing that you're about to cancel and automatically offering you a discount or some perk to stay.
So it's like personalized intervention.
Yeah, exactly. And we might see dynamic pricing models that change based on how much we use the service or what features we really care about.
So instead of a fixed price, it could fluctuate.
Potentially, yes.
Wow. What else do you see changing?
I think we'll see subscriptions expanding into even more industries. It's already happening with things like healthcare and even cars. But imagine subscribing to personalized wellness plans or having access to a whole fleet of cars.
So instead of owning a car, you can just subscribe to a service that gives you access to different cars whenever you need them.
Exactly.
That's wild.
And right here in Greece, we're seeing more and more grocery and meal delivery subscriptions popping up.
It's true. I feel like everyone I know has at least one food subscription these days.
And that shows you just how pervasive these models are becoming.
It's not just entertainment anymore.
Not at all. I think eventually almost anything could be offered as a subscription.
So in the future, we might be subscribing to everything. Our clothes, our appliances.
It's possible.
Okay.
And to manage all these subscriptions, I think we'll see the rise of subscription marketplaces.
What are those?
Well, think of it like a central hub where you can manage all your subscriptions in one place. Apple One is kind of an early example of this. And we might also see more cross-brand partnerships where companies team up to offer bundled subscriptions.
So you could have a package that includes Spotify, a streaming service, and maybe even a fitness app.
Exactly. And to cater to even more diverse needs, I think hybrid models will become more common.
Hybrid models.
Yeah, a mix of subscriptions and pay-per-use options. So you could have a base subscription for the core features and then pay extra for specific add-ons or services as needed.
So you have the best of both worlds, the predictability of a subscription and the flexibility of paying only for what you use. So it sounds like the future of subscriptions is all about personalization, flexibility, and even more convenience.
It really is. And to keep us engaged, companies are going to need to get even more creative with the retention strategies.
How so?
Well, they'll use data and predictive analytics to identify who's at risk of canceling and then proactively offer them targeted deals or perks. Loyalty programs will become even more elaborate with tiered rewards, bonus points, maybe even referral programs where you get something for bringing in new subscribers.
It sounds like a never-ending race to keep us happy and subscribed.
You could say that.
And what about all those new technologies that are emerging? Things like AR and VR. How do you think they'll impact the subscription world?
Oh, they have the potential to revolutionize the whole experience. Imagine virtual showrooms for online shopping, where you can actually see and interact with products before you buy.
Wow, like a virtual fitting room.
Exactly. Or AR features that enhance your streaming experience, maybe by overlaying information about the actors or music you're watching or listening to.
Or even those games that you play in real life using your phone.
Right. And imagine loyalty programs that are integrated with AR and VR, creating these immersive, gamified experiences. It's all about creating deeper levels of engagement.
So it sounds like the subscription economy is here to stay.
It definitely seems that way. It's reshaping how we interact with businesses, how we consume content, and even how we think about ownership.
It's a whole new way of living.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And ultimately, the businesses that thrive in this environment will be the ones that prioritize building those strong relationships with us, offering value, personalization, and a seamless customer journey.
So they need to be adaptable, innovative, and constantly evolving.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of ground today. What's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
I think it's this. The subscription economy is more than just a trend. It's a fundamental shift in how we consume goods and services.
And it's only going to get bigger and more sophisticated.
For sure.
So as you go about your day, pay attention to all the subscriptions you encounter. It might be more than you think. And consider how this model is shaping your own habits and your relationship with the brands you interact with.
It's a fascinating world, and it's just getting